These boys, who are merely 16 or 17 years old, spend their days thinking only about how to enjoy themselves after receiving their wages. They have no long-term plans and focus solely on immediate pleasures. Living in a dormitory with so many people invites gossip. Sometimes, they stay out so late that the factory dormitory is already locked when they return. As a result, a 20 yuan a night budget motel becomes a heaven-sent deal in their eyes, a fleeting indulgence, living one day at a time.
14、15岁吧。
那开房贵吗？
不贵啊，特价80块钱吧。
This also became their regular hangout spot on payday and weekends. In China, what's the real difference between young people who study and those who don't? This is an electronics factory located in Dongguan. Most of the employees here were born in the 1990s. Among them are people like the boys mentioned earlier, who came to the factory for freedom or to make dating easier. In their eyes, working in a factory is an excellent choice.
读书太无聊了，我们一些朋友嘛，然后叫我们去不去来这边，说好不好啊？他说好啊，就来这边了。工作啊，挣完钱拿这钱出去耍呗，没钱怎么耍嘛？
一般怎么玩啊？
然后再跟1、2个月有钱了，再出去耍一下就行了。
When they run out of money, they return to work for 2 months. When they have money, they indulge in eating, drinking, having fun, and finding girlfriends. It's not only a free lifestyle, but also an opportunity to meet different girls. To them, thinking about the future and setting long-term goals is simply laughable.
那你有没有一个长远的计划？
没有，现在倒是没有。
Living for the moment is the life philosophy they abide by. However, there are people in the factory who think differently. Most of them are stuck here because they have no better options and are forced to stay for a living. Take this girl, Shia You, for example. She left the factory earlier this year, but unable to find suitable work, she returned again.
就去年来过，然后因为一些事情就回去了，然后今年又过来，过来做了大半年了。
Although Xiao You does the hardest and most dangerous job in the factory, her meager wages are far from enough to support her dreams.
我就想存点钱，我家里面穷嘛，想盖个房子嘛。
To reduce her family's financial burden, Xiao You dropped out of school at the age of 16. Without an education, working in a factory became her only choice. Over the years as a factory worker, she has switched between more than 10 factories. Each time, she firmly resolved not to return to factory life, but each time, she found herself back again. Perhaps she knows that once she leaves the factory, there will be no other way for her. Her dreams might never come true in her lifetime. While she loathes everything about this place, staying here remains her only choice. There are many others with thoughts similar to Xiao Yu's. Even the factory's flower, Li Mengshi, doesn't want to live such a mechanical life. At only 18 years old, when her peers are in university discussing their dreams, her life has already stagnated here. Back in middle school, Li Mengshi's dream was to become a painter.
我们在学校里面画的，离开学校什么都没有了。
Due to her severe academic imbalance, she failed to get into her dream art school. To prevent her from entering society too early, her parents arranged for her to attend a technical school. Li Mengshi initially thought she could acquire practical skills there, but it turned out to be just a place to idle away time. Before she even graduated, the school arranged for her to intern at a factory, and her dreams were buried under the busyness of the assembly line. As a new employee and a beautiful girl, Li Mengshi was often picked on by senior workers when she first joined the factory. Fortunately, during this time, she met her soulmate, Xiaoyong.
我刚来的时候，他什么都帮我，反正什么都替我说，反正我犯错了，他都会帮我解围。
As a fellow townsman, Xiaoyong would help her out of difficult situations. It didn't take long for the two to become a couple and start living a sweet life together. However, before meeting Li Mengshi, Xiaoyong had a girlfriend of 3 years, and they were on the verge of getting married. Unexpectedly, the 3-year relationship crumbled under the weight of reality. The girl's family disliked Xiaoyong for his lack of money and prospects, so her mother severed their contact. During those days, Xiaoyong was utterly dejected, making mistakes even during work. At one point, he accidentally cut his hand, but instead of taking proper care of it, he merely treated it briefly and went straight back to work. Perhaps he wanted to numb himself through work, or maybe he felt he hadn't worked hard enough. It wasn't until he met Li Mengshe that the smile returned to his face. However, Li Mengshe also longed to leave the factory.
我边在这里做边去找工作，找到更好的工作可以去，可以换个环境。就是想什么都想尝试一下，不想固定的待在一个地方。如果可以的话，带他走啊。
She doesn't want to be trapped in this cage forever. She is young, the world is vast, and she wants to see it. She hopes to take Xiaoyong with her to start anew. Even if they can only afford the simplest meals every day, that would still be happiness for them. However, Xiaoyong is worried about their relationship.
打算的话是先谈半年多吧，然后再去见见父母什么的，不好说。
Perhaps the wounds from his previous relationship were too deep, making it hard for him to move on in a short time. In the factory, lunchtime is always the most relaxing moment. Although every meal consists of cabbage with chili, everyone eats with great appetite. Among them are those who live day by day, and those who dream of rising above their circumstances. Xiao too has already spent several years here. Before coming to the factory, he was just a young apprentice at a construction site. However, unable to endure the harsh outdoor conditions, he eventually came to the factory through a friend's introduction. Although his monthly salary has now reached 5,000 yuan, the repetitive work leaves him feeling lost. After work every day, Xiao Tu does only 3 things: play billiards, read novels, and fly toy airplanes. In his world there's no future. But in the world of novels, he can dream and do whatever he wants. The electric toy airplane is like a metaphor for his current life. He dreams of spreading his wings and exploring the outside world. Yet he is stuck in a place where the future is entirely predictable. As the Spring Festival approaches, the factory plans to host an annual party to boost morale. However, the factory director worries that the young workers might misbehave, so he instructs the team leader to remind everyone about the rules before the event.
去到那里，不要大声喧哗，不要让那些供应商是吧？供应商就会说，这个厂的是我的客户，就是人是这样子的，原来。
At the party, the factory director delivers an impassioned speech.
全体同仁，这个在2015年这个辛勤工作。
While he expresses gratitude to the employees, deep down, he might be hoping they work even harder so he can buy another BMW next year. Meanwhile, the host and the girls from the factory actively liven up the atmosphere. Speaking in broken Mandarin, the host heaps praise on the factory director. However, after a few rounds of drinks, the party descends into chaos. To prevent injuries and preserve productivity, the factory director quickly intervenes, personally escorting 2 quarreling young men out.
好，回去睡觉。好。这都是性情中的，这90后他妈的，脾气很冲。
The factory's annual party ends in a lively atmosphere. In the new year, these young workers continue to repeat the monotonous routine of assembly line work day after day. Indeed, the assembly line wears away passion and anticipation. But isn't the essence of life, besides pursuing dreams, simply surviving? In this world built of steel and concrete, the assembly line symbolizes mechanical labor, and is also a microcosm of countless young people's ordinary lives. They may seem to lack dreams or plans, but they bear the weight of life in the simplest way. These young workers, who sweat and toil every day, once had dreams and aspirations. But they are stifled under the pressures of reality. Behind every figure standing on the assembly line is a family's story and an inescapable responsibility. They may not embody the ideal image, but it is their ordinary strength that keeps society running. Sometimes, life doesn't require grand achievements. As long as one chooses to persist in adversity and hold on to hope in hardship, their efforts deserve to be seen and respected.